Well, after having a great mini vacation in UXW Bill's part of the country, I came home to a problem. This Rheem Fury water heater, and I'm going to pause the video there if you want to read the specs. I don't know where I saw that, but basically, well, I guess that's where it says it. This is basically a 1974 model, which is the same year the addition was put on my house. So I'm guessing they upgraded the water heater at the same time. Anyway, I found water on the floor over here in the messy basement of doom. You can see right there where the water heater normally goes. It's a little dark, apologize for that. But normally sits right there, but that was all wet. Still is. I turned off that fan there for the video though. And you know, I have water down in this basement regularly. It wasn't a surprise. And then I went to take a shower and the water was not warming up, and I'm like, uh-oh, I wonder if you know, it just needs the pilot light relit. Well, then I saw water was coming out of various orifices of the water heater. I'm trying to think. I think it was coming out a couple of these on top. It was running down the side. It was coming out the bottom, which you can see is pretty rusty down there. So that's why I'm calling this video the Busticated Rusticated water heater. You can see right here, there's some burn marks on there, and it was like that when I bought this house. And the home inspector said that he would highly recommend replacing it. Well, everybody knows how procrastination is, and well, it made it another 5.5 years on borrowed time. But there are a few issues with this water heater and its installation that also were the inspector. One, copper gas line. Apparently somewhat common when it was installed, but now is totally not code. Apparently the gas interacts in a bad way with the copper, and while my main gas lines are cast iron like they should be, all my little branch lines are copper. So, and no shut-off valves on anything. So I'm replacing the water heater, I'm putting on a shut-off valve, and I'm getting rid of this copper stuff. And that's my attitude to all the stuff done like that. As I replace them, the piping will be made right. The other thing is this emergency valve. You can see they used 2 reducers on it to reduce it down to, what is that, 3/8 tubing, maybe 1/4 inch, I think, like from 5/8 to 3/8. So if this thing had to go, it wouldn't be able to vent nearly as fast. And you can see where I popped it up there, and of course you can see up here it doesn't look too good. But it did a great job heating water. There's the flare on the gas piping. This thing was on, this cold water intake was on solid, so I just took this jigsaw and just cut it off. This I was able to, the hot one I was able to take off with a more conventional manner. Now over here we've got the new one. We've got this Richmond 6-year water heater. You can see it was made in 2004. And how I got this is a bit of a story. I posted on Facebook that I had a great time in Illinois with, you know, with UXW Bill and his family and blah blah blah. But I came home to a Busticated water heater. If anybody has a good used one they'd be willing to sell, let me know. This morning I got up to a message from my former real estate agent, and she has become a friend of mine. And she said, I've got a gas water heater that isn't isn't very old and has been very lightly used. You can have it. So I drove over in the truck today. By the way, the keykeeper did a great job detailing it. He washed it, clay barred it, and waxed it, though it's already getting a bit dirty. But, you know, I've also put, you know, over 300 miles on it since then. But that's another story. And hauled a water heater in it. We've got a cold fitting still there. I hope I can get a... hopefully I can get the thing on there. The nipple fitting was missing on here, but I bought these flex lines. I'm going to run 2 flex lines on this because I know I'm not going to be all piping in as precisely as that was. There's no tube coming off of this, so I'm going to definitely have to get a tube for that. But that's among the things I'll have to get in my mountain of adapters at the hardware store. And frankly, I've got some nice heavy-duty garden hose. I might just see if I could sneak that on there. It would certainly be better than it just like this. But on the other hand, I'm sure doing it right with the stuff from the garden hose from the hardware store will not be that expensive. Now today is Sunday, the day of rest, so I should be resting right now. And there is, well, no hardware stores are open. So basically all I was able to do is pick this up and get some minor prep work done, get the old one taken out. And I did go and get some Casey's Pizza. I shouldn't have, but I did. And you can see some scarring right there from some less than professional installation. They had this, and then this was screwed on top. Now this came off with, it didn't come off terribly hardly. It just, but I guess they put this whole kit and caboodle on there and didn't bother to take it apart. So I don't know what the deal was. Anyway, as long as it holds pressure and doesn't affect the operation, I don't care. But this was a free water heater, and dadgummit, I want my money's worth out of it. It cost me a few dollars worth of gas to go get it. Now, like I said, this the story behind this is my real estate agent bought a place that she used as her office, and she decided just to go ahead and convert it over to all electric. So this water heater, you know, was only in use for, sheesh, 3 years maybe? Because I think it was in 05 when she bought that place. So it's out of warranty now, but I think I bought this house in 06, and I'm thinking it was sometime in 05 when she bought that double shotgun duplex that she used as her office. But anyway, she's not using that anymore, so it's for sale. So those of you who know where I live and are in need of a commercial zoned duplex, let me know. I'll put you in contact with her. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get all this dried out. I'm gonna install a shutoff valve. I need a new reducer and a new shutoff valve. Unfortunately, installing this one, I stripped out the existing ones. So crap, that sucks, but it happens. And then so let's see here. I'm going to need to put a fitting on here and a fitting on here. So we'll see how all that works out. Yeah, it's going to be kind of a breezy day outside. It's whipping up out there, though that's not the reason for this video. I got my very messy, as usual, computer desk. I clean it, but it doesn't stay clean very long, and I'm enjoying coffee out of a coffee mug that the Beef Queen gave me. Though that's not the purpose of this video. When I made part 1 to the water heater saga video, I forgot to get a good shot of the specs on the new water heater. Now you can clearly see it cannot heat water as fast as the old one. However, I am kind of hoping that it will be a little cheaper to operate, since it is energy efficient. However, the old one was a ream, and the new one, while it's got the Richmond brand on it, is also a ream. So anyway, that's this little blip of the video. Gotta jump in there here in a second and head off to Orchlands because I need some parts. I got my hot water output hose installed, but and I bought 2 of these. Unfortunately, this already had the gender changer on it. I know there's a proper term for that, but I just got up. I'm not awake yet. Shoot me some credit. So that's the bad part about dealing with stuff that's used. You gotta deal with other people's sins, and that aren't the way they should be. So I need to hopefully find another one of these that's got the male connector on it, and got a couple other adapters that I need. I think I need a new gas shutoff valve because I accidentally stripped my new one here, so I'm pretty sure that's not something I can take back, though. If I'm feeling unscrupulous, I might try. I stripped this as well, but I need this cast iron adapter, the thread onto there for my gas. And let's see. There's my cold water pipe, and I've got a hose on it so it doesn't drip on the floor. Let's see if I can get this off of here. And then there's my hot water pipe. I'm thinking this looks like roughly 3/4, 5/8, 3/4, something like that, and this could very well be a full inch right here. So we'll see what happens. I was doing some looking there and I just realized, oh yeah, that's smart. Work with water with a hot extension cord nearby, but it's since been unplugged. So just a couple of things that need to be done. There's the server farm right there. Okay, well, here's the new water heater. Sitting on the ground. Yes, this basement has seen neater days. But let's see here what we've got here. We've got the Richmond Integra system. Water heater, you've seen it in earlier videos. I took that funky right angle off and replaced it with a flex gas line. The original water heater had copper gas line. Well, that's been replaced with a more proper gas line. On the old water heater was slightly shorter, and it was hard piped right into the heater, and the old water heater was also a little bit shorter than this one. So what I did is I cut these pipes off, installed a new shutoff valve because the old one was stiff, and I was told I didn't need a shutoff on the hot water line, so that's one less thing I had to deal with. The hot line is 1/2 inch, this is 3/4, so they're a little mismatched, which I've also told is slightly unusual. These were unbraced, so I just took some plumber strapping and brace them up. I need to get some rubber there just to kind of keep the metal strapping from eating into them, and I'm sure it can't be good on my speaker cable here. It's speaker wire. It's not gonna hurt anything. So I've got these nice flex lines I got at Lowe's in place. These are apparently for water heaters, so that's what I used. I do have an ever so slight leak here, and I've got this on just as tight as I can, so I'm not quite sure how to deal with that. You can see I plumber's taped it. I did everything right, but I don't think I could get that on there any tighter, short of a monstrous effort. I'm not sure what else to do with that. I've kind of had to move it around a little bit. Right here's the gas line. Right here is where it switched over to a copper line. I installed a new 3/4 to 1/2 inch adapter and got a 10-inch extension, shut-off valve, and then my flexible gas line. Kinda wish I'd gotten a 12-inch extension, but oh well. I couldn't have done it without that 10-inch. I wish I could have gotten a longer gas flex line, but that was the longest Lowe's had. And I just want to thank Lowe's, Orchelin's, and the local home store for having the stuff I needed to complete this project. Let's see here. This flex hose is wanting to butt up against the vent pipe, and I didn't think that was a good idea, so I just used some scrap speaker wire and tied it onto the gas line to keep it away. At this point, I'm just happy that it works. And it is working. Actually, it was a little too hot, so I've turned the thermostat down a little bit, and I'll just have to adjust it as needed. I forgot to buy the proper pipe, so I just used an old garden hose. This is emergency only, so it should be fine. And you can see, oh, it does work. Ooh, don't worry about the electrical cord down there, it's not plugged in. Though I do need to plug that dehumidifier back in and get the fan going again, and I've got a couple other things to do. I am going to eventually put a proper pipe on there for the emergency release, just that the garden hose was convenient and all I had, and I figured it's better than nothing for temporary. I have no gas leaks that I know of anyway. I've done the soapy water trick, and I saw no bubbling, so that's a good sign. So I'm sure I did a few things wrong on this project, but it's in and it's working, and frankly it might actually be slightly better than how the old one was put in, aside of course from the ever so slightly leaky cold water line. Now the question is what to do with this piece of junk. Man, if this had happened before I went to Illinois, I could have taken it to UXW Bill's house, and then Bizarre Furhead could have had 2 heaps.